Now, another review to do on one of these diesel heaters. They're great little heaters. They're really, really economical, very easy to use. Sunster reached out and asked me was I interested in doing a review video on one of theirs. So I said, okay, send it on, I'll give it a shot. So the postman tried to get the package over my gates into a basket on the inside of the gates, but the basket strapping broke and this hit the deck from 6 feet. So hopefully it's still working. The instructions are out. So we've got instructions. There's a box. I presume this is a transformer, you know, like a power adapter. Get a look at that in a second. Put that down there. And we've got the main unit itself. So let's see if we can spill this out. My shoulders hopped out of it. No, I can't do it. So we'll try it with my left hand. Okay. So I'm struggling with this shoulder. Paragliding accident at my age. So that's the box. Yeah, there's a tiny dent in this. I could care less about dent. Okay. So what have we got? We've got air inlet. We have the exhaust and some flue then to direct the heat. So we've assorted clips and an air intake, kind of a filter. And we have one of these exhaust systems, seems to be with them all. So we have some wires. There's no crocodile clips or any of that on these. These are bolted to something. I haven't seen that yet, so we'll see that in a minute. Now I know this took a 6-foot fall, so let's see how durable they are. Obviously there's no diesel in it. On the back of it, it's got positive and negative connections, which is why it's got loops on these things. And then it's branded Sunster. So we can read off the gauge on the back. As this fills, we'll see through it. It goes up to 5 litres at the top. So I'm going to put this thing together now. Shouldn't take long. So on some of my previous heaters, I've had to bolt on 4x2 spacers, you know, to keep it 4 inches up off the deck, so that, you know, whatever you're running the exhaust gets extremely hot and will burn stuff. So with these legs, it'll keep that out of the way. Now we have about 6 inches of space between the bottom of this and the table, wherever you're going to set it up, which is brilliant because it means it's not going to burn it, which is great. Also makes connecting everything up easier to do. Well done, Sunster. So we'll get the rest of this together. So they give you a slot here so you can get your screwdriver down through it and tighten up your Jubilee clip. So we're going to put this on now. Okay, twist it on. There we go, it's on. So that's not going to go anywhere. So this AC power supplies us from 100 volts to 240 volts. Its output is 12 volts at 12 amps, it says. So this is really easy to hook up. You can hook it up to 12 volt power supply directly onto these, red being positive, black being negative. And these leads, although there's brown and blue coming out, they have heat shrink on them, the right color. So red to red, black to black. So we're going to put that up now. So I recently got a solar power station and we're going to hook it up to that now just to see what the story is. But instead of using a power supply, you could use your straight off your car battery or something. In our case, we're going to use a power station, but we're going to plug this into the power station. If you're at home and you don't have one, you can plug it straight into your wall. Right, so it couldn't be easier. You've got to keep the wire away from the exhaust. The exhaust will actually melt its way through the plastic. Okay, so look, red to red, couldn't be easier. And the black tab, so it's the blue cable. Right, so we're going to put that on. That's it. Now, if you want to put your bracket up here somewhere, you can drill this. You just got to make sure you're not going to drill into the tank. So you can take the lid off and have a look and connect it that way. All right, so we're powered up. You can see the little green light in the video. And we've got a display on here and the remote was already paired. So I don't have to go through any of that. So straight out of the box, it's going to work. Now, the thing is, it needs kerosene or diesel. I don't have any diesel here, except in the cars, but I do have some kerosene. So we're going to throw a litre of kerosene in there. I think a litre is 1.76 points, but that gets a bit complicated because that's 1.76 imperial points, and Americans have less stuff in their gallon than we have. So look, just going to put that in there. So this was bone dry before I put this in. So it's showing just a little less than a litre, but these are a litre. I'm going to put the exhaust out through the wall of the shed so we're not breathing in carbon monoxide, and we'll see exactly how long 1 litre lasts. This is our standard exhaust. It's just shy of 1 inch. So I've got some 1-inch copper pipe from plumbing. I'm just going to extend on the exhaust. We're going out through a pre-drilled hole in my shed. Oh, right. Now it turns out this is a lovely fit inside 1-inch pipe. We're just going to power the whole thing on now and let it rip. So we've got the remote. Now I didn't tune this remote or anything. It just worked straight out of the box. We're going to switch it on. Start heating, it said. Thanks for using. I wish you a safe journey. Brilliant. We have a polite diesel heater. So this is going to blow out into the room. I don't know if this one is quiet, if it clicks a lot or what it does. But standard diesel heater, they're fairly cheap for what they do. If your domestic oil boiler was to break down or something and you needed heat in an emergency, one of these things, brilliant. It'd be very interesting to see now how long it lasts on exactly 1 litre of juice in it. Right, for a couple of seconds I was wondering there, did this thing click or did it have a quiet pump in it? I can tell you now, it clicks. It's not quiet. See if you can hear that on my mic. Dunk, 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 dunk. Okay, certainly clicks, right? It's on a wooden table, so that's going to act like a soundboard. But look, it's doing what it's supposed to do. It's beginning to speed up. Now this has a procedure for lighting. So... I just wanted it to bring the light on. I've switched the whole fucking thing off. Okay, so we had a slight malfunction and it was caused by me, right? I wanted to bring the lights on this thing, so I hit the AC button again. Of course, that switches it off. All right, here we go. Second away, round 2. So we're going to switch it on. Start heating, she said. Okay, so this thing hasn't started throwing out any heat yet. Oh, it has. Now, there is some heat coming out of this now. Look, you can see it's blowing air. All right. On camera, I don't know, it doesn't show it going fast, but this thing is going pretty fast. So it ramps up full speed initially, and then it kind of reduces down to whatever speed it wants. There is hot air coming out of that now. Now, the first time you light this, there might be some smell off it, and that's because, you know, everything is covered in grease, you know, from the manufacturing process. Now, if you're in a tent or something, you won't need it full belt. If you're in a bigger house and you've got this set up for heating a house or an area in a house, you'd have it outside anyway. Now, I have this thing set for 98.6 Fahrenheit. In centigrade, currently, we're seeing 73. Like 73 is hot for the volume of air that's coming out of it. It's been going for 10 minutes now. Its output is 83.5 degrees. Right, so now the next thing is to see how long it lasts on a litre of fuel. That'd be interesting. But it's making a lot of heat. Totally portable. It's running off a power supply, which is brilliant. If you want to hook it up to a battery, it's just as easy. Now, I want to see how long this would last on exactly 1 litre of fuel. So I put 1 litre of kerosene in this. It could have been diesel if I had diesel. It doesn't matter. Anyway, I ran it until it ran out, until it stopped. I put the camera on it and I went inside. When I came back out, it had lasted for 2 hours and 7 minutes. So that's on 1 litre of fuel. When this Sunster diesel heater is running full belt, it's quite noisy. When it's turned down a little bit, you know, if you don't need 100% of the power output, great. It says 8 kilowatts. I don't think it's 8 kilowatts. I think it's more like 5 kilowatts, given that, you know, it lasted 2 hours, just over 2 hours on 1 litre of fuel. So these things run just over €100, maybe €120, something like that. And I think they're brilliant. You know, if you're in an emergency situation or if you're going camping or anything like that, we're running it totally off grid here, you know, on one of these power stations. You could just as easily connect it up to a car battery or a generator or anything like that. You know, so long as you've got 12 volts and enough amperage, you can keep this thing going. The power supply that came with it is 12 volts, 12 amps. And not that it runs at 12 amps. It needs an additional kick at the start to get the, it's got like one of these glow plugs and it needs some extra power to get that going. Once it gets a flame developed, then it can switch off the glow plug. So look, if you want to buy one of these things, they're about €120, something like that, $120. They make an awful lot of heat and it's dry heat as well. So if you're using this to heat a space in a house or a shed or something, the air that comes in is bone dry. You know, it's not damp, warm air, it's dry warm air, which is fantastic for keeping a space kind of clean and dry, mildew free and all that sort of stuff. But I think they're great. And if you want to get one, there's a link in the description below. Helps the channel out and you'll get a bit of a discount. And that's it. So I'm going to leave it there for now. If you like the video, please thumbs up, subscribe down here. That also helps the channel. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now. Good luck.